there guys, the PC guy here showing you how to install a CPU. Now for the first step, obviously you need to make sure that the CPU is compatible with the motherboard and check the orientation that you need to install it in. If you check on your CPU in one corner, you should have a small golden arrow showing you how the orientation goes, which will match the arrow that you can see at the corner of the motherboard socket shield. Make sure that this socket shield stays in place until you actually are installing the CPU, otherwise you could damage the very fragile CPU pins in there. So to start the installation, I usually like to open the little box where the CPU comes in first so that it is nice and ready to install. If you have a tray version, obviously that's a different story. For starters, press this down and drag it out so it will actually release, and this will flop out. Do not remove the black shield, the cover. It will come off by itself when you are actually pushing it down to install the CPU. Now grab your CPU out of its packaging, and again making sure that the arrow matches where it should. It is also marked here by a little white dot on the motherboard. Just hover it over the socket and slowly drop it down, not applying any pressure, just letting it fall in place so it won't damage the very fragile pins underneath. Once this is done, do not apply any pressure on it or any force on it, just let it sit nice there, nice and tight. It basically only has one possible way to fit. It's very difficult to screw this up unless you drop something on the motherboard socket. Now for the next step, you want to put the shield back and just simply slide it like this. Now this is a part that is slightly scary because it sounds like it's about to break or something, but it simply just pops out when you apply enough pressure. As you can see, the shield has popped out. And while you do feel some resistance, you simply have to keep pushing this until it is nice and locked where it once was, and you are free to remove the shield, saving it in case you want to replace your CPU some other time or resell the motherboard or something, and then you have the shield to protect the CPU socket. Now this has been Attic PC Guy showing you how to install a CPU. Hope it has been useful. This is the case for Intel processors, I might add. AMD might have slightly different methods depending on the sockets involved. So at least for the Intel processors, this is how it goes. Hope it has been useful. Like, subscribe, give us some suggestions for comments and for future content, and I will see you next time.